Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day The Last Resort, Season 3, Episode 6, On Your Last Sword. So, yeah, we're going to get on right into it. So, this episode picks up where we left off last week. Remember the infamous fight between Thais and Shekinah. Thais attacking Shekinah and the Shekinah saying the go back to your country comment. And then we left off with Guillermo coming out there and confronting Shekinah and Sarper getting mad and pushing Guillermo. Luckily, that was all that was with them two, and Guillermo went back in. Shekinah was really irritated that Guillermo came out here just to antagonize that. Heat of the moment. So I'm actually that, like I said last week, I'm gonna say that Guillermo should have just left that one alone. He should have not come up there and said anything and whatever. Now, Shekinah has, like I said, been on social media trying to defend her actions, her words and everything the whole week. She said that, production, there was a miscommunication with production on why they didn't intervene and stuff. And she was mad that they were quickly to intervene with Guillermo and Sarper, unlike when it was with her and Thais. Like I said last week, I think everybody was wrong in the whole situation. Like I said last week, Thais, because remember the argument. The argument started with Patrick, Patrick just having a conversation with Sarper, and then she kind of stepped in, and then they were talking about the whole situation with Kara and Guillermo, and she kind of made comments to Patrick, and that ultimately irritated Thais and stuff. So that's basically how it started, and then words were said, and glasses were being thrown, and finger pointing, and then words were said. So, like I said last week, Thais should have just been like, "Girl, quit picking on my husband. He has different views. Like, please stop thinking like we've been." And the thing about it is that they have this beef anyway from the first episode because of remember, go back to episode 1 when Thais confronted them about she kind of confronted Thais about the unfollow thing. So there's some kind of resentment anyway. So there's a backstory that led to all this anyway. Because I think if Shekinah didn't bring that up to Thais, I really don't think Thais would have attacked Shekinah. Again, Thais was 100% wrong. 100% wrong. We don't condone violence. Ultimately led to Thais's arrest. But then with Shekinah, when she said go back to your country, now she's been all week defending her actions and defending her words and stuff. Oh, my husband's an immigrant. My daughter is Hispanic and stuff and everything. I just meant for her to get it out of my face and stuff, go back to where you came from and stuff where that's allowed. Okay. We know that's what you were trying to say, but here's the thing when you say that. It's like, and I said this last week, as an African American man, when someone tells you to, it's like someone even in the heat of the moment or drunk tells an African American person to go back to Africa. Like that is so cruel. And I've never been to Africa a day in my life, and so it's basically the same as that. Now, like I said, her wording could have been better too. She should have just kept on just like, okay, where's security? Get this girl out of my face, or I'm gonna call the police. And like that's basically all she could have said. Because again, everybody was on Shekinah's side up until this comment. So everybody's just so now what Shekinah said overwrites Thais attacking her. Now here's the thing. Now again. Again, I don't condone violence. I don't condone violence, and I keep saying Thais was wrong. But it really wasn't all that. It really wasn't all that. I'm not trying to downplay it or make it and sound unsensitive about it. But Thais didn't really. It really wasn't a serious threat to Shekinah physically. Like Shekinah was sitting down. And Thais like, get your finger out my mouth, and was just like flickering at her. There wasn't a actual punch thrown. There wasn't a weapon that was pulled or anything. Not condoning it, not condoning it, and not downplaying it. Definitely not downplaying it. No, you don't need to be putting, don't be need to be throwing stuff and everything. But what I'm just trying to say, I've seen worse in situations like that. I've seen worse. So some of the things I think Shekinah might have been just being a little bit over dramatic about, just a tad bit on just like the possible severity of it and stuff and everything. Luckily, there were, the other girls were holding Thais back and stuff and everything. But I do think Shekinah just a tad bit got a little bit over dramatic on how on Thais's reaction. Oh, like she could have poked my eye out. Oh, I could have been permanently eye damaged or something like that. It wasn't. It wasn't like that. I watched the clip all over again, not condoning it. Again, 100%. Thais is wrong, and Thais and they both girls need to apologize to each other, in my opinion. Both girls need to apologize. But I'm done talking about that for right now. So now, after Sarper and Guillermo got into that fight, Guillermo goes back in, tries to like, I just went to talk to her, and Sarper came at me and all that and everything. But Sarper is just like over it. He's over the whole drama and everything. And Submit, it was funny. Submit was trying to break it up and everything. And Submit just like grabbed Sarper and just started hugging him real tight. He was like, "Come to me, bro. It's okay, bro," and everything. "I love you, bro. Calm down, bro," and everything. And Sarper needed that. I thought that was really nice of Submit to do that. Shekinah was really happy that Submit came and checked on them the right way and stuff and everything, and apologize for that they had to see that. Sarper and Shekinah leave. Submit goes back and tells Jenny, and Jenny was like, we didn't come all the way from India to deal with this BS and everything, because, Jenny and Submit got more serious problems than just worrying about this. They're fighting for some serious health issues right now, and it's just so sad. So meanwhile, we're back in the bar. Now everybody's like cheersing, like Patrick and Guillermo like tried to do a toast saying thank you guys for coming to my country, yay, and do a toast to that and all that. And between the sheets, like Shekinah was like, "Oh, everybody, these are some trashy people. They're celebrating someone who just got assaulted and stuff. No, we're not. No. See, she's being a little bit over dramatic with that. They're not celebrating someone who. We're not celebrating that. There's. They're. As the therapist said, the fight that fight just made them have a bonding moment. Now they're bonding over that. Now it's like cheers, like we love you guys, thank you guys for coming. Ain't nobody celebrating someone almost getting into a fight. Like who's doing that? They didn't say, "Oh yeah," they weren't toasting Thais. "Yeah, Thais, good job for coming at her face and everything. Yeah, she deserved that." Nobody did that. That's celebrating somebody getting assaulted. They didn't do that. They're just saying somebody, "Hey, thank you guys for coming to my country." That fight united them a little bit and stuff. So she needs to quit taking it that way. She wants wants us to be on her side by saying that she didn't mean what she said. Then she needs to understand that they didn't mean what they said. Okay. So after the shots in the bar, on between the sheets, they keep. Last week, Guillermo had a wandering eye. He kept on looking at Powell's boots because they were out, and like she was uncomfortable with it. And Powell was telling Russ that he's still like staring at him and stuff and everything, because Kara and Guillermo started drinking again, and Kara went to confront Guillermo. She was like, "Oh, even though it meant you almost getting beat up by Sarper, I really loved the fact and appreciated the fact you went out there and were brave enough to stand up for yourself like that," and which ultimately turned her on and everything, because every time a fight breaks out, a man gets into a fight over something, and it turns their their partners on for some reason, and so peer pressure around the bar. Pao was just like, can y'all just kiss and make love already, basically, and everything. So they shared a really nice, passionate kiss, but it was, it was basically a drunk kiss and peer pressure and stuff. Kara enjoyed every minute of that kiss and stuff, and Guillermo was just doing it just to do it, basically. Then, like I said, there was a wondering eye. He started looking at Pao's boobs and stuff. And then between the sheets, we seen a scene where her and Russ had a conversation about the uncomfort of him looking at her boobs and stuff. And Russ was just like, I don't really like him staring at her, but they're out and stuff. But then Pao was just like, maybe we're overreacting. Don't say anything, because him and Kara are trying to work on their relationship, basically. So he was just like, all right. So they go back in. Guillermo's sitting between the sheets that, I didn't really want to look at Kara. Like, I'm not interested in Pao. I just didn't want to look at Kara. I had something to look at, basically, or whatever. So that was that. And that was basically it for the bar scene. So all the couples go back to the castle. Everybody's just like still like shaking up over the fight, and they're talking about how dare she say go back to your country and all that. So we get back to the castle. Patrick and Thais. So Thais is like, she's a little bit over it. Now she's not feeling well. She's told Patrick, I can't believe that B word, say go back to your country. But then after she said that, but I ain't feeling good. And she started to feel nauseous. She must have ate something wrong, and she got really sick. And before she got sick, Patrick's like, I am proud of you for standing up for yourself and standing up for me. And again, on Between the Sheets, Sarper and Shekinah are like, you're proud of her for assaulting somebody? I'm like, no. Again, nope, no, we're not. They did not say, like, being proud is like, I'm glad that you like fought her or anything. No, they didn't say that. They are glad that she stood up for her husband, because Shekinah always wants Sarper to do that for her. No, like, and this is the very first time I personally ever seen seen Thais defend Patrick. That was the very first time I have ever seen Thais defend Patrick that way. So that's what he was happy about. It wasn't the fact what she did. It was just, or how, it wasn't how she did it. It was like the main scope of it, what she did. Again, she was wrong with with attacking her. But and before she put her hands up and everything, she was just like I'm trying to talk to you and you're interrupting me, like you're picking on my man. That he's happy about that she did that, not the attacking her. Okay, so I know. See, here's the thing, Shekinah. I know the differences between what you said and what they did and stuff, and how it's meant and stuff. Now you can go back and and guys, I'm not anti Shekinah. Some days I do like Shekinah and some days I don't and stuff. She's just one of those people. It's just one day you love her, next day you can't stand her and stuff. I'm not anti Shekinah. And because, a lot of people like to think, oh, everybody's just bullying Shekinah, picking on Shekinah. No, it's not that. I'm just going by what I see and how she's portrayed on TV and stuff, and even going by what she's been posting on social media and stuff. I am not anti-Shekinah, but I've said it before. She has a mouth on her. And sometimes if you mess with the wrong person, you're going to find out. Again, no excuse for it. And I'm going to keep saying that. No excuse for this behavior all around. As I said, both girls need to apologize. So anyway, so Sarper and Shekinah are having a conversation about it. Sarper's actually like really mad about the situation. He's really mad about what Shekinah said in that moment. He feels like she needs to apologize. So even Sarper's feeling that way. But on Between the Sheets, like Sarper did say, you know what? If Shekinah was a racist person, he wouldn't be with her. I understand it was heat of the moment and stuff and everything. But in that moment, when they were back in the bedroom, they were like Sarper was just over over it and stuff and everything. Now, Shekinah had also said that there was her and Cyber had a deep conversation, and there was a conversation with production that they had that after the fight scene at the bar that they were contemplating on leaving the castle or being kicked out because the contract says if you get into a physical altercation, you're kicked off the show. They didn't kick off Thais or anything, and then they didn't kick out Sarper for going after Guillermo. So they said if you guys want to leave, if you want her kicked out, we have to kick him out too because he went after Guillermo. So either we both stay or you both go. So Shekinah wanted to leave, but her and Sarper had a long conversation. Ultimately, decided to stay, basically. And I'm glad that they stayed. I mean, I could care. I'm glad that they stayed to finish it out, but I just wonder how this tell-all is going to be because I mean if they have a tell-all, like it's going to be. I thought last season's Last Resort tell-all was crazy, but I think this season's tell-all for Last Resort will be even crazier. So it's the next morning. It's not before the next morning. Back to Karen and Guillermo now. Karen and Guillermo are spending have some time in Kara's room and everything, and they're talking about their little passionate kiss that they just had, and Kara's hopeful that spark can initiate something and they can get back to where they were. And Kara's like, oh, I'm attracted to you, Guillermo, and everything. And he's just like, thank you. He's all smiling. She's like, so what do you want to do? I got a bed here. I got a couch here. You trying to stay with me? Or do you want to go home? And he basically wanted to go home. Oh, Guillermo. I knew that was coming. He only kissed her for the peer pressure, but I'm just like, dang. I actually thought that he was going to stay the night with her. But on Between the Sheets, they apparently, and this was unseen, they said that they had a conversation that if they would have made love that night, that probably would have like really ruined everything and just like basically ruined what they're actually there for, which is to work on their marriage. And they don't think that they feel like sex is not gonna solve that, and they actually feel like sex would just make the situation worse. And I actually kind of see their point after thinking of that. So, but everybody was just like, oh man, Guillermo, come on, man. Now it's the next day, finally. Finally, it's the next day. And now everybody everybody gets a note in their door to pack up their things, and they're going for a little overnight excursion. And they're basically going on a hiking camping trip, basically. What did they call it? The British hike, British camping, something British related. They met up with Dr. Tyrone and this also basically camp counselor who made all the couples bring all their big necessities, and he had like a big list of items that each couple had to pick one up to bring. Like I think one was like a little portable toilet that Russ and Powell took. One was like some like bread and cheese that Jenny and Submit took. It was stuff like that. So everybody was divided up in three teams of two. Sarper and Shekinah were paired up with Jenny and Submit, which that was the right choice. Russ and Powell were paired up with Kara and Guillermo, and Patrick and Thais were paired up with Rebecca and Ziet. And so they all take their hike. Jenny and Submit, like I feel bad for Jenny because like Jenny's starting to get out of breath and heavy-winded with this because it is cold. It was cold and windy while they're making this hike. So Sarper and Shekinah were happy to be with Jenny and Submit, but Jenny did confront Shekinah on her words, and Jenny's like, everybody hates you, Shekinah. Now, you did say go back to your country. Submit's mom tells me that all the time. Now, Between the Sheets, now Shekinah finally had some realization. After talking to Jenny, knowing that that Submit's mom says that, like, I never really thought of it that way. maybe I should have like been careful with my words. No, no, duh, really, and stuff. But Submit was like, yeah, but your words overrode the fight and stuff, and now you're the enemy and stuff and everything. So, I mean, that's just that. Then over with Kara and Guillermo and Russ and Powell, um, they decided to talk about their kiss from the night before, and there was some kind of conversation about it possibly being like regretted a little bit, because again they said that they didn't want to do that because they felt like that situation would have made it worse. Meanwhile, this is Powell's like real first time being out here like this, and with the portable toilet she wore like this onesie, and Kara was trying to teach her how to like go in the woods and stuff and everything and do like a little twerk. It was kind of disturbing, whatever. um Patrick and Thais, like I said, Thais had gotten sick from the night before and stuff, and Patrick said that she has not been sick like this since she was pregnant. So so they probably had like a little pregnancy scare, but she ain't pregnant. We would have known by now. I think it's just something that she ate, because Thais actually doesn't drink, and I knew that, but I didn't know that, and didn't know that until last week. Thais actually doesn't drink, so she couldn't have been hungover. But they did say that the food the food over there in the UK is just really nasty, or at least the food that they had. I'm not going to say all food in the UK, but the food that they had was just really nasty and stuff, and it just made them sick. So I think she probably just got a little bit of possible food poisoning. I don't know. So, but right now they're thinking that she's possibly pregnant, because if she ate something, and she ate something pretty quick that she don't normally do. Patrick said the last time she did that is when she was pregnant. So, but again, I don't think she's pregnant. So what else happened? Jenny and Cement said that they had the conversation about why they still live in the parents' house and stuff and everything. Sarper kind of had his back and said, like, in our culture, like it's hard to go against the parents. Shekinah had to explain, in America, our parents are pushing us to be independent like at 16, 17, 18 years old. So it's really different here and stuff. And Jenny is just like, why are we still living with your freaking parents? And now there's a financial thing that we need to know that Submit did, that he feel like Jenny's gonna leave him for, and stuff that he'll bring up next week to the group. So that was basically it. I'm trying to think what else happened. Rebecca and Zia were pretty quiet in this episode. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else with them. No, that was basically, yeah, there wasn't much else that went on in this episode. Another one of those fill-in episodes. I mean, it was just a nice little break from what happened last week. But judging by the previews, they're all gonna finish this hiking trip, and then they're gonna meet at a campsite to start a fire, and then have group therapy. Then we'll have another Rebecca and Zia explosion next week. Shekinah gonna say a few words, and Rebecca's gonna go off on Shekinah and stuff. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the beef between Sarper and Rebecca, I am Team Sarper on that one, because I do think at this point, Rebecca is starting to pick on him and stuff and everything, and she's the one who keeps saying like hurtful things, saying that she wants to throw drinks at him and like hurt him and stuff and everything. I don't like that at all. Like, she is really angry and vital, and nobody's saying nothing about that. We're all focused on what Thais and Shekinah said, but nobody's focused on what Rebecca has been trying to do with Sarper and stuff. So I think that needs to be addressed, in my opinion. Just saying, because I don't like that. I don't like none of this. Like, if I was on this season with this cast and all of that was going on, like dealing with Rebecca's aggressiveness, Shekinah's moodiness, and all that, and just Sarper just being Sarper, Patrick being Patrick, you know, and all that. I just be like, yo, I would pick up my girl and be like, yo, we gotta go. This is not my style. I don't do drama. I don't do violence. I don't do threats and stuff. Like, I'm here for therapy. I don't like, we're only doing all this group therapy, all this stuff because this is part of a TV production. Because I'm tired of seeing all the group activities and stuff. I want to see more, and I know we got a lot of season left, but I want to see more of the individual therapies and stuff. Like, I want one-on-one therapies with the counselors and stuff and everything, instead of all these group activities and stuff. All this group activities just gonna get them fighting. They say that this is to help them communicate and work together, blah blah blah. But all it's gonna do when you do it all together, it's just gonna cause all kind of friction and make everybody resent each other even more. So that's just my opinion on that. But yeah. But anyway, guys, that was basically it. That's basically it at my review on this one. Couple of little programming notes. So I'll be back on tomorrow to do little singles. Then I'll be back on Sunday because Married at First Sight comes back on Sunday. I think episode 1 airs Sunday, so I'll watch that and air that Sunday afternoon. Then we'll do 90 Day Fiance episode 10. And then reminder, I'm also going to be doing the episode, I am going to do episode 10 on my channel as usual, but I'm also going to do another recap of episode 10 on 90 Day Fiance Honestly with Amy and B next Monday. So, and it'll be on their channel. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed over there to support their channel. I thank them for inviting me to come over. I'm excited to have a long, deep discussion about a lot of things when we talk about Marissa and Epward and Asia Maxwell, Mallory Raja, W. Mito. I can't wait to have long, in-depth conversations about the 90 Day Season 12 couples with them. And so, yeah, so those are just some programming notes. Like, we're working. It's going to be a busy summer here on the Nathan Temp 2 page, but so you guys just bear with me. I'm going to try to get all these recaps in. If I miss some days, some episodes on something, I apologize. But again, I'm trying to get it all in. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please don't dislike the video. Please don't do that. Like, again, I try to be very candid with what I say and try to be fair in my assessments and everything I say and do when I do these reviews. But I do appreciate you guys' love and support. One other thing, I've been having issues with comments. Like, I know people have been leaving comments, but then somehow they're being deleted and I'm not deleting them. So if you guys have wrote a comment and it's not there anymore, trust me, I've seen it and I've not touched it. So something's going on with YouTube. I'll take a deeper look into that, but feel free to keep the discussion going again, but please be respectful in the comments section about the episode only and stuff and everything. And yeah, and I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.